the Pivot podcast. They were talking about how they feel like Chris Brown is a better entertainer than Michael Jackson. You being an R&B icon, what are your thoughts on that statement?
I think he absolutely is the most talented, like Chris Brown. Like he elevated what Michael started off. He elevated it.
Got it.
Because he can sing better than Michael Jackson. The runs and the melody, all the things he can do with his voice are, as a vocalist, that's
right.
He can sing better in the senses that Michael didn't do those
ranges. And
there's some runs that Michael did back in the day, you know what I mean? But in terms of vocal dexterity and having the skill of being able to do more with his voice, I'll give him that. Chris Brown has definitely ascended the style.
Right.
And you can hear the influence of Michael, but he still has his own thing. Chris is his own, just like Michael Jackson was his own.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and right when this nigga had an official cookout pass, the shit got revoked. We fucked with Jon B because we thought it was a black dude or a mixed dude singing. He did countless songs with Tupac, but as this nigga get old, he's stupid, bro. You on social media talking about Chris Brown is a better singer than Michael Jackson. Chris Brown doesn't have a Liberian girl. Chris Brown doesn't have Black or White. Chris Brown don't Stop. Chris Brown doesn't have Heal the World. Chris Brown doesn't have You Are Not Alone. Chris Brown doesn't have Scream. He ain't got the Jackson 5 catalog. This nigga's a dummy. This is why his career hasn't gone anywhere in the last 30 years. And people sampling his shit and he ain't getting a nickel. Because sometimes you just gotta know when to shut the hell up. Right? And at 51 or 52 years old, one of the two, bro, release music. The fact that this nigga is probably got a couple mil, a studio in his house, and a laptop somewhere in his fucking crib, and he ain't banged out songs and uploaded them on social media, goes to show that these dudes are just washed. Well, I like old school singers and rappers, right? But the problem with most of these motherfuckers are that after they reach 45 or 50 years old, they just start talking out their ass. They ain't putting out no music. They're doing these reunion and these nostalgia tours. Remember the 80s tours and 90s tours, shit like that, right? Getting a couple 100,000 here or there. The fact that he said Chris Brown is a better singer and Michael catalog can be that, like, and I like Chris Brown, don't get it twisted. I like The Grass Ain't Greener on the Other Side, countless other songs that I can't name off the top of my head, because he has that much disposable music. Excuse Me Miss, I like that song. But for the most part, Chris Brown doesn't have music that touches you. He only talks about bitches. He don't have any songs that made me like. I was singing a Michael Jackson song today, Pretty Young Thing, Billie Jean, what Thriller, Off the Wall, and I was literally singing like literally most of all these songs all day at work. I haven't sung a Chris Brown song. The mood never strikes me. So the fact that this fool ass nigga talking about Chris Brown is a better singer, now because he's still alive, he's a better everything right now, right? We can only reach back to Mike's nostalgia and catalog. I'll give him his props on what he does now real good, but he ain't fucking with Mike, right? And I might have minced words when I said that, because saying Chris Brown is alive so he's a better everything, what I mean to say is he's the present. So a lot of people is glazing him, especially this nigga. I don't know if he want to do a track with Chris Brown or something, but it's like, bro, he doesn't have the catalog or songs. Nobody gives a fuck about Chris Brown. Look at Me Now, the bullshit song with Joyner Lucas. Don't get me wrong, Chris Brown has some damn good songs. Not as good as Michael Jackson, because I can't name too many of them. That's a testament to how good he really is. And you put him up against Michael Jackson. I did I think I did an episode about Jay-Z glazing Beyonce, talking about she's better than a better entertainer and she's surpassed Michael Jackson. I might actually do it right after this one. In any event, if y'all like this episode, matter of fact, you know what? I'm actually combining them shits. If you like this episode, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. Next episode's coming up, and I'll be right back. Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and this is the second half, following Jon B saying that Chris Brown is a better singer than Michael Jackson. Now we have Jay-Z. Says Jay-Z has sparked a heated debate after boldly claiming that his wife Beyonce, comparing his wife Beyonce to Michael Jackson, claiming she has already surpassed the king of pop as the most influential black artist of all time. Taking to Twitter, Hove wrote, "Numbers don't lie. Beyonce has outworked, outperformed, and outshined everyone, even Michael. She's the blueprint. She's the blueprint now." To which Janet Jackson tweeted, "Blueprint, baby, my brother was the blueprint. Beyonce studied Michael the way the world did. Respect the greatness, but don't rewrite history just to make dinner at the Carter house less awkward." And I agree with Janet. Now, I will say Beyonce does have probably as many hits as Mike, awards as Mike, platinum selling records as Michael Jackson. And it's not because she's a female that I'm gonna knock her. Once again, just like Chris Brown, she doesn't have a Liberia Girl. She doesn't have You Are Not Alone. She doesn't have Don't Stop. She doesn't have A Pretty Young Thing, Off the Wall, Thriller, Billie Jean. She doesn't have Scream. She doesn't have any song that you can put up against any Michael Jackson song. I'm sorry. And I didn't even go to the Jackson 5. We're not even gonna go about ABC 1 2 3. The song he got, damn, I forgot what the hell it's called. Fuck it. We're not even Heartbreak Hotel. We're not even putting her up against Jackson 5 Michael Jackson. We're just saying Mike when he left Jackson 5. That's Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, Invincible, all that. She's not fucking with him. Not even in dancing, because up until 2003, she couldn't dance. Now, this isn't me saying this. This is literally a docuseries. I think it came on Unsung, where they did an unsung episode of Destiny's Child, where it was primarily focused on Kelly Rowland. Come on, man. It was nigga. Stop sending all that shit to me. It was primarily focused on the group Destiny's Child as opposed to just Beyonce. It was mostly focused on Kelly Rowland and Michelle. But they had a little tidbit of Beyonce in there. And they literally said the bitch was so stiff and couldn't dance, they had her sit down and move the screen, right? There was the special effects of the screen moving. And literally the ottoman that she was sitting on was moving with the camera effects. They had to teach Beyonce how to dance, whereas Michael Jackson's been doing the moonwalk since he was 20. He was sliding all across the goddamn stage with Cher and the Jackson 5 back in 1976. What are we talking about here? Are we really trying to, like, people are reaching for straws instead of people being original and being themselves and comparing themselves to their own accolades? They're trying to find a pinnacle. The fact that you're using Michael Jackson as a pinnacle to measure Beyonce and Chris Brown with is a testament to where he's at in this thing called entertainment, right? You don't use a person as a measurement to say that you're better than, right? The fact that you use them as the pinnacle means that you haven't surpassed the pinnacle, because even you realize, understand, and notice the talent and the standard, right? Chris Brown wouldn't even put himself as a singer past Michael Jackson, even a dancer past Michael Jackson, right? Beyonce, I don't think would put herself past being a better entertainer than Michael Jackson. So all these other people just glazing them, and I like Hove, but come on, slow that shit down. If you're bored at the crib, and like Janet Jackson said, you're trying to make the family dinners less awkward, there's other ways to do it, my nigga. Talk about Blue Ivy. Hell, put out some music yourself. Talk about Dame Dash. But to talk about that Beyonce is a better entertainer than Michael Jackson, now you just glazing, bro. And we can't let that shit live. In any event, if y'all like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.